Would you tell me this stuff? We're not looking at that next week, May 7th. Good evening, everyone. The April 23rd, 2024 Commission Meeting of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Welcome, citizens of Douglas County. County Clerk, would you please take the roll for the record? I'm slowing down. County Clerk, could you?
Yes, sir. Okay, District 1 Commissioner Ricky Dobbs.
Feels good to say present and actually be present.
District 2 Commissioner Whitney Kenner-Jones.
Present.
Vice Chair District 4 Commissioner Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Phil Miller.
I'm here. Commissioners, are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda? Being none, the agenda stands as approved as presented. We are pleased tonight to have James Worthington with us this evening to lead us in our invocation. Please stand for the invocation, and after the invocation, please join us in our pledge of the flag.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome and welcome back. Nice to have y'all. Let us pray. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, we thank you again for another opportunity to stand before you, Lord, another opportunity to be part of this county, Lord. In this administration, Lord, just ask you to bless them. Lord, make them, help them to make good decisions, Lord, that bring this county together in one mind, one accord, one direction that's pleasing to the county, to the citizens, and most importantly to you, Lord. Just asking to continue to bless us and watch over us in everything we do. These things I ask in your heavenly name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. As a reminder, each commissioner will have 3 minutes to make remarks with a 2-minute rebuttal. Clerk, do we have any public comment?
No, sir, we did not.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. You have the minutes of the commission meeting for April the 9th, 2024, the work session minutes for April the 8th, 2024, and the executive session meetings for April the 8th, 2024. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions that need to be made?
No, Chairman.
Being none, the minutes stand as approved as presented. We have a financial report for the month of March. Are there any objections? Being none, the financial report stands as approved. We have some proclamations tonight. We have Tracy Crooks here to read a proclamation proclaiming the week of April the 21st through the 27th, 2024 as Library Week in Douglas County. Welcome, Lindy. You may read the proclamation now.
Thank you and good evening. Whereas libraries offer the opportunity for everyone to connect with others, learn new skills, and pursue their passions no matter where they are on life's journey. And whereas libraries have long served as trusted institutions striving to ensure equitable access to information and services for all members of the community, regardless of race, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. And whereas libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, developing and expanding collections, programs, and services that are as diverse as the populations they serve. And whereas libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connections, advancing understanding, civic engagement, and shared community goals. And whereas libraries play a pivotal role in economic development by providing resources and support for job seekers, entrepreneurs, small businesses, thus contributing to local prosperity and growth. And whereas libraries make choices that are good for the environment and make sense economically, creating thriving communities for a better tomorrow. And whereas libraries are treasured institutions that preserve our collective heritage and knowledge, safeguarding both physical and digital resources for present and future generations. And whereas libraries are an essential public good and fundamental institutions in democratic societies working to improve society, protecting the rights to education and literacy, and promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all. And whereas libraries, librarians, library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. And whereas the Douglas County Public Libraries play a pivotal role enhancing the quality of life of residents by providing access to resources, fostering learning and creativity, promoting community engagement, and supporting individual growth and development. Now, therefore, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim April the 21st through the 27th, 2024 as Library Week in Douglas County. During this week, we encourage all residents to visit their library, celebrating the adventures and opportunities that they unlock for us every day. Ready, set, libraries. So proclaim this, the 23rd day of April 2024. It has been signed by our chairman, Phil Miller, Ricky Dobbs, District 1, Mr. Mark Alcaraz, District 4, and Whitney Kenner Jones, District 2. So we want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the proclamation as read?
Chairman, I move that we approve the proclamation as read.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I don't really have discussion, but I would like to say something. if
You have
that's-
the floor.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to all of the people who work in the library. I know a poor kid like myself growing up and didn't have internet in my house, and the library was one of my only resources to be able to go and share in that love of learning and of reading. And so I just want to make sure that the public recognizes you spoke about the economic impact, but there's truly and genuinely an impact on people's daily lives. Additionally, one of my first jobs in law school was working in the law library, sorting microfiche. And so I definitely appreciate the work that you do in terms of preserving history and making sure that it's accessible to people. But one thing I want to make sure that people are aware of is the public good that the library does. You would be surprised at how many of DFAC's families use the public library as their visitation resource center, because we do not have one in Douglas County, and that is a vital resource that we cannot afford to lose in this community. In addition to that, the number of parents that we have that were looking for something to do with their kids during those visitations, picked up a book here or there, and are now finishing GED programs or getting their high school diplomas as adults, and otherwise they would not have done that. So thank you very much for the work you do.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. Do we have a motion and a second? Is there any discussion? Do we have a motion and a second? Please prepare to cast your vote. I'll get this right in a minute.
We'll do hand votes.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Would you like to have a photograph taken?
We do, and we also have a brief presentation, if you don't mind.
Well, let's hear the presentation
All
first.
right.
Thank you.
All right, the Douglas County Public Libraries are part of the West Georgia Regional Library System, which is composed of 19 library branches through Carroll, Douglas, Haralson, Heard, and Paulding counties. Our regional mission is the West Georgia Regional Library System empowers our libraries to connect our vibrant and diverse communities through knowledge, ideas, resources, and experiences. Our vision is we inspire communities to discover, create, and connect throughout their lives. Some of our current program offerings, we're constantly doing, something's always going on at the library. In 2023, we had over 800 programs between our 3 libraries in Douglas County. Our libraries host wide varieties of programs for citizens of all ages. We have story time, we have Nintendo Switch tournaments, we have craft nights, book clubs, Tai Chi for seniors, homeschool programs, and many, many more every month. One of our biggest things that we do as the libraries is our summer reading program. If you never go to another program, this is something that you probably knew when you were a kid, going to the library during the summer. And this year we're doing a summer reading kickoff event. It will be Saturday, June 1st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Douglas County Public Library on Selman Drive. We'll have food, bounce houses, games, lots of activities, and of course, signing up for summer reading. So we invite the community to come out to that. Some of our partnerships that we have with the libraries, did you know you could go to Zoo Atlanta for free just coming to the library? Watch the DVD, we give you the tickets, you can go to the zoo for free. We also have discounts and free offerings for the Center for Puppetry Arts. We've got discounts to the aquarium, the Tubman Museum, the Quilt and Textile Museum. We also have a program called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, where we encourage children birth through up to kindergarten to read 1,000 books before they get into the kindergarten program. And it is amazing to see these 3-year-olds that have read 1,000 books. Now that they're not, huge chapter books, but they're reading. It might be the same Dr. Seuss book 50 times, but they're still reading and they're still getting exposed to literature. So those are just some of the programs and partnerships that we have going at the libraries. I do want to recognize our Douglas County Library Advisory Board. Ms. Tracy Crooks, who read the proclamation, is one of our wonderful members. In partnership with the Douglas County School System, the West Georgia Regional Library System, the Georgia Public Library Services, and our Library Advisory Board, at the time led by Board President Tracy Crooks, they helped establish the play card system in Douglas County. And what this program does is it gives every student that is a student of the Douglas County School System a free library card. I know a lot of times students, their parents can't come in and get them a card, but with just using their lunch number, they have access to the library when the bookmobile comes out, or they can check out, if they come on a school trip, they have access to our libraries and all of our resources. Students with a play card can check out up to 5 physical items at a time, including books, DVDs, CDs, the free passes to the parks, and many more. The play card also gives students free access to the millions of books through the Pine system, our streaming services such as Libby, Canopy, and Hoopla, e-magazines, and lots of other resources, all by being a student of Douglas County. Currently, there have been 7,775 items circulated with the play cards, and as of right now, the school that has circulated the highest number of items using the play cards is Chapel Hill Elementary. Just a quick few of our statistics. Since pre-COVID 2020, so January 2020, our Wi-Fi usage has increased 258%. That's just unbelievable. 258% increase. Study room usage is up 61%. And then this number is not a typo. Our e-material circulation, that's our e-books, e-audiobooks, has increased 1,642% over January 2020. That's pre-COVID. So that's kind of where we're looking at. All of our numbers are where we were before COVID. But that's 1,600% increase. We're doing something right. Let's see, upcoming projects. We're really excited about our two big projects coming up. The first one, you see a tentative design of our pop-up library bookmobile. We're hoping to have this early 2025. This will be the library to the public. When they can't come to us, we can come to them, meet them where they are. Students that are home during the summer, they might not be able to get to us, but we can get to them. Once we do have our bookmobile, we plan to have regular routes established where we're doing story times in the parks, story times and Nintendo Switch tournaments in the community, just everywhere we can possibly, anywhere who will take us, we will go. So we're really excited to use that in once it gets here. We're hoping early 2025. And then a huge thank you to the citizens and to you all for the Selman Library is getting a renovation. Woohoo! We are so thankful for the money that has been allocated for this renovation. We can't tell you how many citizens are coming in every day saying, I'm so excited. This library hasn't changed since I was a kid. So we're really excited about this project. The building has had, other than our renovations that we've been able to do the past few months, the building remains the same as its original 1985 design, including original furniture. So we joke that most of the furniture and finishings in the building are older than our staff. But that's going to change, and we're really excited. We have our pre-bid meeting tomorrow, and we're just so overwhelmed with feedback from the community about how excited they are about this. So we want to thank you all for everything that you've done to make this happen. And that's it, pretty much. We want to give a huge thank you to our wonderful Board of Commissioners and County Administration for their hard work and generosity for the funds for our libraries and our library projects. We also want to thank the entire staff of the Douglas County Public Libraries, the West Georgia Regional Library System, and the Douglas County Library Advisory Board, the Douglas County School System, and Dr. Consuela Gilchrist for all of the dedication to the libraries of Douglas County. And I hope I didn't take too much time. All right, thank you.
You want to have a photograph
Yes,
taken?
please.
I learned a lot, and I didn't even go to the library, so that was pretty good.
I can talk about libraries for hours.
We want to, who's taking a photo? You want us up here or down there?
Probably down here.
Okay.
It might have to do two lines. How's that, Kristen?
That's good, thank you. All right, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you.
That's unfair. Maybe we could get a library. Yeah, I think I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that your commissioner in District 1, Ricky Dobbs, had a lot to do with the decision to renovate the old library. But all right, we have a second proclamation. We have our district attorney, Ms. Dahlia Racine, here to read the proclamation the week of April the 21st through April the 27th, 2024, as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Douglas County. We welcome you, Ms. District Attorney.
Thank you, Chairman Miller. Good evening to all. A special welcome back to District 1, Commissioner Dobbs. We are ecstatic of your safe return, so glad to have you back. I'd be remiss if I did not personally greet my commissioner, my new commissioner, Whitney Cantor Jones. Congratulations, and I'm glad to have you. And of course, always great to see you, Commissioner Alcarez and Chair Miller. We're excited to share this Proclamation Week with Library Week. I love the Libby app. I don't know if that's something that y'all are familiar with, but it is a great opportunity to have ebooks right at your fingertips. But I am also eternally grateful for this crew standing behind me. This is not my security, although they would be willing, I'm sure, to take somebody out if need be. However, these are our phenomenal victim witness advocates in the DA's office. And this is Nationally Crime Victims Rights Week for 2024. And this is a nationwide recognition of not just the rights that victims have in the criminal justice system, but those that usher them through that process, which is all of our phenomenal advocates standing behind me. Hopefully you all are not intimately familiar, but the fact is that when individuals are victimized, it is very traumatic to come into the criminal justice system. They're continuously in this process of trying to heal, and we continuously come behind them and rip those scars off and scabs off and insist that they give us every detail of what has happened to them for not just months but years to follow those heinous acts that have occurred to them. But this crew of amazing women standing behind me are the ones that are there to virtually and physically hold their hands through that process, to usher them through that. You know, it may shock you all, but lawyers don't always have the best bedside manner when it comes to individuals coming through the criminal justice system. And they stand in the gap for us. They apologize for us when we maybe do not have the best approach in our mannerisms. But also, they are critical community liaisons, which is often forgotten. They network with all of our community organizations because oftentimes people that come into our system are crime victims. They may be homeless. They may be drug addicted. They may have kids that they are needing assistance with. There are just a myriad of things and resources that victims that come into our system need. And it is these individuals who stand in that gap and make sure that they are connected with those services, make sure that we are minimizing the trauma to the individuals that are coming through our system. And we could not be more proud to have them as part of our team. And so thank you. Publicly, I would like to say thank you to our victim advocates for all that they do in our community and for our office. So now I would like to read our National Crime Victims' Rights Week proclamation for 2024. Whereas surviving a crime can be a myriad of lasting effects on victims, including physical, psychological, social, and financial issues, and whereas it is necessary to create safe environments for survivors of crime, providing not only support but also access to critical services and, above all, hope. And whereas victim service providers, community members, businesses, places of worship, colleagues, neighbors, and family members are capable of providing victim-centered, trauma-informed, and culturally responsive support, and whereas we must listen to survivors and be willing to create new options for support to ensure that all victims of crime can receive help and seek justice. And whereas we must do everything we can to show survivors that hope, the belief that the future will be better, is not just tangible, but within their reach. And whereas National Crime Victims' Rights Week encourages all people to ask themselves the question, how would you help a victim of crime? And whereas the Douglas County District Attorney's Office is hereby dedicated to raising awareness of options, services, and hope for crime survivors. Now therefore, let it be resolved that the Douglas County Board of Commissioners proclaims the week of April 21st through 27, 2024 as Crime Victims' Rights Week, and reaffirming this county's commitment to creating a victim service and criminal justice response that assists all victims of crime during Crime Victims' Rights Week and throughout the year, and expressing our sincere gratitude and appreciation for those community members, victim service providers, and criminal justice professionals who are committed to improving our response to all victims of crime so that they may find relevant assistance, support, justice, and peace. So proclaim this 23rd day of April 2024, signed by Chairman Miller, signed by District 4 Commissioner Mark Alcaraz, signed by District 2 Commissioner Whitney Kenner Jones, and about to be signed by Commission District 1 Ricky Dodd Jr., if I may.
You can tell she's a lawyer. May I approach? I'd just like to tell you ladies that are standing there, thank you so much for what you do. I was in law enforcement for a long, long time, way before any of you were born. And there used to not be any victim assistance at all. And where we were and where we've come today makes me proud as a former law enforcement officer. Thank you.
And that is the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. We also have several activities planned for this week, including the Bobby Tillman 5K this Saturday held at Chapel Hill High School. In addition, we have our Thrive Drive going on right now. We're collecting toiletries and other necessary items to go to our domestic violence survivors and our various service providers across the community. And you can all follow the work that we're doing on Facebook. We had several victim testimonials talking about the important work that our advocates do to keep them advised of this process and keep them protected and keep them full of information so that they can rebuild their lives after crime. And so we are just very proud of the work that our team is doing.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
Do we have a motion to approve the proclamation as read?
Chairman, I make a motion to accept the proclamation for making the week of April 21st through the 27th of 2024 Crime Victims' Rights Week in Douglas County.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank you, because you're the ones that sees the victims probably at their worst moments, and you help get them back on the right path. And that takes a strong person. That takes a dedicated person with a deep heart. And I just want to say thank you.
Anyone else? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Would y'all like to have a photograph?
We would love to have a photo. Height child back.
Okay, fine. I don't
One, two, three. One, two, three. Thank you.
All right, we have our agenda items. We will now begin with our new business and agenda items. Clerk, please begin with our business items.
Yes, sir. Our first business item, number 7, authorization for the chairman to execute an employment agreement and car allowance agreement with Stephanie Morgan as facilities manager, pending final legal review.
Good evening, Chairman Miller, Board of Commissioners. I'm here today to bring forth the employment agreement for Ms. Stephanie Morgan. As we know, Mark Price, our longtime facilities manager, is retiring, I think as of April 30th, and he has served this county well. But we are promoting Ms. Stephanie Morgan, who has worked alongside him for 22 years. And I will tell you, if you call Stephanie, I think everyone here knows it's going to get done. It's going to get done quickly, and she's on top of her game. And so we're recommending her for this position today.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
How about a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think that she has the patience of a saint in all the ways that she has helped me in just a few days that I have been here, and so I think that she's just fantastic.
That's wonderful. Anyone else? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same. Motion carries. All right.
Chairman, if I may, we would like to bring up Ms. Morgan, but we also have another promotion that we would like to announce at this time as well.
We would be honored.
All right, so Ms. Morgan, if you'll come on up. And she's very humble, so.
Reckon you could get her to spend a few days with my wife?
Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I truly appreciate it. Mark's leaving me some pretty big shoes to fill, but having worked alongside of him for the last 22 years, he's been a wonderful mentor, and I've got a great support staff on my team members, and yeah, I just look forward to another maybe 20 plus some years with y'all if you'll have me. I enjoy working with the employees and serving the citizens of Douglas County, so thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have one more. As you know, on our agenda, we are promoting Chad Griffin to the Director of Parks and Recreation, so we needed to fill his position. So that position is being filled by Mr. Greg Mooneyham. And Chad sent me some facts about Mr. Mooneyham. He's had a very interesting career path. He played baseball at Palm Beach Junior College, but he was drafted to play for the New York Mets. He joined the Air Force and also played on the All-Air Force team. He coached at the University of Tampa. He worked at Lee County, Florida as the facilities coordinator for the Parks Department. And he's also taught in the Atlanta area at Woodward Academy for 12 years as an educator and coach. And from there, he retired, and now he's working in the Douglas County Parks and Recreation. He's our new Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation. So I will bring up Mr. Mooneyham.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. I just want to say it's a pleasure to be allowed to continue working with the Parks and Recreation Department and helping not only the citizens, but our commissioners and anybody else that comes and visits our beautiful parks, from athletics, the aquatic center, activity center, you name it, we have it going on, and it's a pleasure to be allowed to continue in this position as the assistant director.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Clerk, that doesn't require a vote, does it?
No, we're good.
All right.
Okay, we'll move to number 8, approval of purchase and sale agreement with Fairview Partnership LLLP regarding the purchase by the county of property located on 4655 Timber Ridge Drive, Douglasville, Georgia. Attorney Coleman.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, before you is a purchase and sale agreement with the sellers of the property located on Timber Ridge Drive, which I think we have looked at as a potential new site for office buildings for the county. We've had discussions about this in executive session. but the open meetings law requires us to take a vote in public. And I know you're familiar with the terms, but the open meetings law specifically requires that at the time of the vote, that the location of the property and the terms be disclosed. I'm going to disclose those things now. In terms of the location of the property, it was just stated 4655 Timber Ridge Road. And the terms provide for a purchase price of $3 million by the county. There's a $5,000 earnest money deposit required to be made. The agreement provides a 60-day due diligence period for the county to inspect and provide due diligence with respect to the property. 10 days after the end of the if there are problems discovered during due diligence, then the county will have the opportunity to walk. If we go forward, as we hope will be the case, we'll close within 10 days after the end of the due diligence period. County will receive the property via limited warranty deed, but we will have title insurance, and there's a process for obtaining title insurance spelled out in the agreement. So those are the material terms. That's the location of the property. If there are questions, I'm happy to entertain them. If not, at your pleasure.
For those in the community that don't know, we have 2 judges coming in the next 2 years, Superior Court judge and a state court judge. We don't have any room in the courthouse. It's full. And we found this piece of property, or James Worthington or somebody found it, and it's a 17,000 square foot building, and we have people moving out of this courthouse that are going to move into that building, and as a result, we can renovate this building to make room for the 2 judges. And we bought it at what I think is a steal. It cost about $500 a square foot to build nowadays, according to my resources, and we bought it for less than $200 a square foot, and it's almost move-in ready. So we're real proud of this acquisition, and we believe it will serve the county well. So just some information there. We good?
We're good, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Chairman, just one moment, just
Yes,
a point of clarity. It's just a simple mistake, but just for our citizens, in case they know, it was mentioned as Timber Ridge Road, but it's actually Timber Ridge Drive. So this is clear, but just when the county attorney said Timber Ridge Road, so I just want that just
Okay.
for the citizens.
Timber Ridge Drive.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I yield.
All right. All right. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same. Motion carries.
Thank you. We have one more business item, number 9. It's a preliminary plat approval for Chattahoochee Meadows Conservation Subdivision. This was tabled on March 19th, 2024. We will need to take a motion to untable this item, Chairman.
Okay, do I have a motion to untable the item?
Chairman, I make a motion to untable the item from 3/19/24 in regards to preliminary plat approval for Chattahoochee Meadows Conservation Subdivision.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Big none. All in favor? Raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
Now we can have discussion, or if you have any questions.
Do we have
for-
any discussion?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay. Vice Chair?
Phil? And then James might be back there too, but I know that we're looking at this, and by right, they have the right to build these 600 homes. We've been going through this quite a bit today, correct?
Correct.
But I'm just asking for the record that going forward, any subdivisions or anything of this size, that we take a look at maybe impact fees, because we're going to have to build a brand new fire station and a lot of work down there because of this subdivision. And the citizens down there are not pleased because of the congestion of traffic that we're already having to deal with. But I just wanted to state that for the record, that going forward, we need to start looking at some impact fees, because this shouldn't be the burden of the taxpayers of Douglas County.
You're warming my heart. That's what we've been trying to advocate for some time.
Okay. I yield back, Chairman.
Any other comments?
I would just add that I completely agree with Commissioner Alcarez to that end, and make sure that we're clear with the public. It's not just the construction of a new fire station that would be required, and that's at a $2.5 to $4.5 million increase to the residents, but that it's also going to require us to hire additional firefighters to staff that. We are already understaffed at the current fire departments that we already have. You're looking at 3 shifts per day, 8 to 12 people per shift, and we have to make sure that we can allot for that in our budget as well. And in addition to the impact on the fire department, there's going to be impacts to all public safety departments. So that includes EMS as well as the sheriff's department, to be able to service and respond to those times. And until a new fire department is built or constructed, we are going to have increased response time should anything happen out at that area, because they're going to be pulling from already overburdened and overworked fire departments from various other areas around the county. In addition to that, we also need to be looking at the impact on the school systems in those areas, and I understand that that is a federal multiplier that they are using, but I have a hard time believing that 606 additional units is only going to generate about 224 additional students, and so I would want to be looking at the impact to our schools and making sure that we're having some type of allotment or payments back to the county to address those expansions and needs as well.
Understood.
I yield back, Chair.
Thank you. In addition, our school superintendent, when he was contacted, he told you that that part of the school system is already overcrowded?
It's at capacity.
At capacity?
At capacity.
Okay. So we got 220 or 30 more students going there?
Yes, and
yeah. Okay. You know, I don't know if anybody's here representing those folks. There may be. But I have a hard time approving something, and they may have the right, but I have a hard time approving something that's going to be such a cost to Douglas County for us. You know, we're trying not to raise taxes in this county, and we're trying to do the right thing for the people of this community. And now we've got to build a fire station, we've got to hire employees, we've got to hire sheriff's deputies, and we've got to widen our school system to a great deal. That's a great expense, and I don't know when we can expect to recover that. I'm sure 600 houses pay a lot of taxes over once they're here, but until they're here, I've got a real issue with that.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Anyone else? Do I have a motion?
A motion to I move to adopt the preliminary plat for Chattahoochee Meadows Conservation Subdivision.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Not that I'm against it. I just, you know, we've got to plan better.
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Motion passes. All right.
Thank you. We now have our consent agenda, Chairman, so we'll just need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Okay.
Chairman, I move that we accept the consent agenda as stated.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have any announcements? Ms. Yvette?
plenty of announcements. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Board of Commissioners, and welcome back, Commissioner Dobbs. And we will start with you. Please join District 1 Commissioner Ricky Dobbs for his Coming Together Resource Fair on May 4th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Connect Douglas Multimodal Transportation Center. There will be a host of county resources and food vendors for citizens to enjoy. Vendors will be available from 11 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. And then the community conversation will begin at 12:40. We look forward to seeing you there. The public is invited to a community meeting hosted by District 2 Commissioner Whitney Kenner-Jones on May 1st, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. The event will be held at the Lithia Springs Senior Center. Join Commissioner Kenner-Jones for a discussion about issues impacting District 2 and Douglas County at large. We look forward to connecting with you then. And April is National County Government Month. This year's theme is Forward Together, emphasizing connection, inspiration, and leadership. In commemoration, join us for Inside Douglas County, a community engagement fair shining light on the people, the work, and the progress. This event will be held on April 30th, that's next week, at 6 p.m. at the Douglasville Conference Center. Attendees will have the opportunity to connect with department representatives, explore county programs and services, and much more. The event is free and open to the public. And advance voting for the May 21st primary will begin Monday, April 29th, 2024, and will run until May 17th, including 2 Saturdays, May 4th and May 11th. For detailed voting information, including location specifics, please visit our website at douglascountyga.gov and click on the elections link at the top of the page. And Keep Douglas County Beautiful is hosting a shredding event on May 4th from 9 a.m. until noon at the Douglas County Courthouse. Bring your sensitive documents, old magazines, and paper clutter, and remember to please remove staples and paper clips. And May is Older Americans Month, and to honor this occasion, the Constituent Services Department is proud to present the Living Legends exhibit, an art show celebrating older Americans. The show opens on May 1st and will be on display in the courthouse gallery on the 3rd floor. For more information, please contact Constituent Services at douglascountyga.gov. And calling all vendors. September Saturdays is the county's big fall festival featuring food, music, rides, and more. If you'd like to be a vendor this year, please visit douglascountyga.gov to apply. The application opens on May 1st. For more information, you can email Constituent Services at douglascountyga.gov. And that concludes our announcements for this evening. I yield back to you.
All right, thank you. Is there any other business to come before the board? Yes, sir.
I just have a comment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first, want to say the first thing is glad to be back to all my constituents in District 1. Although I've always been available since I've been gone via email or via video chat, it's good to be back here so we can meet up in the flesh. And the first time where hopefully everybody comes out, and everyone outside of District 1 is also invited to May 4th event. It's a community event for the whole state, whole county. State of Georgia too can come. You're welcome. But it's a community coming together thing. So please come out and bring your children. And I want to add into that the first hour of that will the vendors will be giving away different samples and stuff. I'll use that opportunity to get different vendors to come out so they can be known and just bring the community together as a whole. Have stuff for children and correction. I think on here it said from. The vendors will be available from 11 to 12:30, but they will go into 2:30. 1:30, 13:30 to for the military folks. We'll be going to 30 minutes prior to us closing everything down. I wanted to have that opportunity for the vendors to be able to give away stuff, but also be able to make a little bit of profit, but to just connect with the community. So I have those vendors that will be giving some special things away, some things that the ways that they plan to connect with the community. And then the very last thing is hopefully I don't have to go nowhere no time soon. Be able to plant my feet here in Douglas County and not have to leave anymore. I told the Navy that I cannot support, although it was a arduous time and some good times, some was bad. But I told them I ain't gonna be able to do this no more. I mean, it's folks in Douglasville that need me. So they was like, okay, Ricky, you can just go ahead and go back. But for those who really know, that was definitely that was a conversation that didn't happen. But glad to be back. I yield, Chair.
Anyone else? All right, well, yeah, 6 months is a pretty long vacation, man. We're glad to have you back. All right, the meeting is adjourned.